Hey everybody, welcome to Monday, and there will be lots of Boss Fight Song of Sparkle Muffin news this week. I just finished shooting stuff for the Kickstarter video for it, so that is coming very, very soon. More on that as the week progresses. Today, I am talking about the artist formerly known as Jesse McCree, now named Cole Cassidy. Wow, did Blizzard fuck this up? If you want the TLDR, there we go. That's my take on this whole thing. Wow, did Blizzard fuck this up? If you want, like, Dante's Inferno Rings of Douchebag analysis on this, keep watching. But if you just want the top line, wow, did Blizzard fuck this up? If you like this kind of stuff, help support this channel, become a monthly patron, patreon.com/LeannaK. All right, so not only did they fuck up the name, and you guys know I don't tend to go straight for the swears like right away. It has to be really bad to bring out the swears in the first minute of a Leanna video, right? But this was completely fucked up. When I saw the name Cole Cassidy, I'm like, that's twigging something in the back of my brain. That is making my spidey sense tingle. Why? Because it sounds like a fucking porn star name. And sure enough, there's a porn star named Cassidy Cole. Every name you pick for a game, you Google foo that shit and see what comes up. I do it with independent games, and there is nowhere near the spotlight on the stuff I have worked on as there is on this. The fact that they just inverted a porn star's name for this is kind of hilarious, but it just shows how steeped in douche Blizzard's decision making is, because I guess they were going for like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. I guess that's what they were going for. Cliche as fuck, but that's what they were going for. But they ended up with a porn star name using the term Cole, which I immediately thought of that, spirit character in Dragon Age Inquisition. It is such an unoriginal name. They ended up with an inverted porn star name. But if that wasn't bad enough, the steaming pile of douche that is the unveiling is something to behold. Now, first of all, the font is so goddamn small that even when you blow it up on Twitter, you can barely read it. So just watch the douchebag animation while I squint and read this teeny tiny font. Because even when you make it bigger, it's pixelated. So it doesn't do any fucking good. Okay, but here's this. I'm gonna do my cowboy voice. The first thing a renegade loses is their name, and this one gave up his long ago. Running from his past meant running from himself, and each passing year only widened the divide between who he had been and what he had become. But in every cowboy's life, there comes a time when he has to stop and make a stand. To make this new Overwatch better, to make things right, he had to be honest with his team and himself. The cowboy he was rode into the sunset, and Cole Cassidy faced the world at dawn. And I admit, every time I read this, there is I don't know if it's still there, but back when I was hanging out in the neighborhood in like Church and Wellesley in Toronto, there was this big mural of the Marlboro Man. That's all I think of when I read this shit. Like, it is just bad. It is hacky and hokey and shitty and a lot of other things that you can add Y to and make an adjective. But this is crap. This is the best they could come up with. Quite frankly, at this point, it would be better if they just kept the damn character's name. Kept McCree, changed the first name, whatever. Somebody on Twitter, when I tweeted about this, going, is this just me or is this really bad? Somebody said they should have made the origin that he assumed the name of a criminal. and Cole Cassidy is just another pseudonym, and so nobody knows what his real name is yet. I'm like, that's a pretty good origin. That at least would have been somewhat accountable. But holy shit, the word choices on this thing. Like, people howl at women who are professional victims, but fuck me, man. Look at the butthurt in this, okay? A renegade. Like, okay, you didn't name the character after a renegade. You named the character after an asshole who you knew was an asshole when you named the character after him. Come on, Blizzard. You knew what this guy was about. Your culture was just so steeped in bullshit that everybody's like, didn't see anything, right? But running from his past meant running from himself. What? What do you mean running? You're still running from your damn past, Blizzard, by trying to paper over this horse shit. You have a problem, and this isn't addressing the problem. You refuse to settle the friggin' state of California case against you in mediation, and you put up horseshit about running from your past? You are the pros at running from your past, Blizzard. Real talk. And widen the divide between who he had been and what he had become. Gee, what is that about? Every person I know who worked at Blizzard back in the day before things went completely to ass shit is like, yeah, this isn't the company we knew. But the people there now aren't the people saying this. The people saying this are the people who are no longer there and are going, what the fuck happened after I left? The number of former Blizzard employees that messaged me and said, I hope none of your bad experiences with the company were with me. And of course, everybody who said that, no, they were a good person. They're not there anymore, right? But there comes a time when he has to stop and make a stand. Blizzard's stand was against the state of California trying to trivialize the suicide of one of their employees. That's their idea of making a stand, not we should settle this because we are in the wrong and the bad PR alone from the ongoing shitstorm that this will cause is not worth it because we are in the wrong, fucking settle. No, they decided to make a stand at exactly the wrong point. Why are they reminding people of this, right? And then they bothered to use the term to make things right. Renaming a fucking character doesn't make anything right. It's trying to run from the reasons that the character's name is a problem to begin with. This doesn't make anything right. Settling and paying out the employees you wronged, that's making things right. Changing your, well, it's a start. Changing your corporate culture, that's making things right. Not shutting out women and other sorts of minorities and complaining about a fucking pipeline problem when you know sure as shit that you're creating the pipeline problem because of your discriminatory hiring and employee practices, that would be making things right. Renaming a character after an inverted fucking porn star is not making things right. Fuck me. Okay, so he had to be honest with his team and himself. Well, that's not happening. That's not happening here. Okay, I get that they're trying to maintain character voice in a way of, he's a cowboy, right? Cowboy, baby. Yeah, when you invoke Kid Rock, you got a problem. But the cowboy he was rode into the sunset. Like, cliches are not helping. I know there are parts of Overwatch that are just over the top cheese and it's tropey and that's what makes some people really like it. But to do the cowboy he was rode into the sunset. Oh, that's fucking wishful thinking at Blizzard, right? Like, Ubisoft isn't the Freedom 55 commercial of what Blizzard's going through right now. No, you don't just get to ride off into the sunset. People are going to hound this company until their dying breath because of what they did, and there's nothing they can do about it now because some people are just not gonna let this go. And you know what? I kind of fucking understand that, right? But the idea, Cole Cassidy faced the world at dawn. No, fuck no. This is a fictional character. And this bullshit posturing, they're breaking the fourth wall left and right here. And I don't know how you break the fourth wall left and right. I guess it's the left side of the fourth wall and the right. Stage right and stage left, right? Fuck. But this is bullshit. And the idea of facing the world, no. No. Blizzard does not face the world. Blizzard has not owned up to what it did. They're still fighting this goddamn case in court. If they were willing to face the world, they'd have settled this shit. They would have been, our bad. How much do we have to pay? Because let's face it, that's all that's going to happen. It's a criminal prosecution of a corporation. We know what happens. Deferred prosecution agreements. Always. That's the way the world works. The only thing these companies understand is money. And this is a big steaming pile. Steeping. Yeah, we steamed it and then we steeped it. This is shit tea. This is bullshit tea. Okay, steamed bullshit steeped tea. This is crap. And the fact that I didn't get a single person in my admittedly shitlord heavy Twitter feed defending any of this. And I know people who play this character in Overwatch, right? Or did. I don't know if they changed their main after this horse shit. But, the truth is, a namesake is just that, right? I use namesakes in my work just because I think it's kind of cute and funny. I make it abundantly clear that the character whose name sounds like a person is not the person. They are not meant to be the person. And, Jesse McCree is a pretty cool cowboy name. Because of Jesse James, right? And then McCree, right? Like, they had to fuck this up so badly for me to say it would have been better if they left it alone. And they have fucked it up that badly. They have fucked this up on so many levels in such a 360 panorama that I think it would have been better had they just not changed the name. And I was good with changing the name. I understood why they were changing the name. I understand, for people who main this character, they would have been pissed if they pulled the entire character. But maybe a bit of a character redesign would have been good, just cosmetically, just as a nod as well, because it's still the same fucking character. We all know it's still Jesse McCree, right? And there's a bad taste on this, There's a bad taste on this no matter what happens with this character. Perhaps the best thing to have done would have been to just get rid of the character completely in a fruit of the poisonous tree argument. The only reason I am hesitant to say that is just because if some people are able to separate the person from the work and are still having fun with this character, I sympathize with them. However, anybody who sees this character in the game and knows what happens is going to be, oh, this is less fun now. So it's a needs of the many versus needs of the few type character. I should have looked up what tier this character is in Overwatch, because if it's a very popular character, if it's a high tier character, yeah, I kind of get leaving them in gameplay first, yada yada yada. I get that. And I kind of think that anybody who can still play a Blizzard game right now, knowing what that company did, is not going to be bothered by a particular character's name. And anybody who's going to be bothered by that is pretty much long gone because, like me, they just can't. Now, I was gone from Blizzard a long time ago. It takes a lot for me to even buy an Activision game. I think the last Activision game I bought was Sekiro because it was a From Software game and Activision was just the publisher. And I was like, because I've had my experiences with Activision and Blizzard, and I've talked about those before. But From Software just hurts so good, and I love the community of players in those games. So, it was like From Software's awesome made the asshole to awesome ratio in this equation worth it for me. The awesome outweighed the asshole. And that is the decision that every individual player is going to have to make. That is how the free markets work. Is the awesome you get from Overwatch or WoW or any other, Blizzard property worth the giant fuck tons of asshole that come with it? And, I think we all wrote out the asshole to awesome ratio with CD Projekt Red until Cyberpunk. Like, yeah, they did some kind of dumb things. They did some kind of dickish things, but then they did a lot of awesome things as well. So we stuck with them. And then Cyberpunk came out and we were like, asshole to awesome ratio, now leaning towards asshole. See ya. And I just don't know anyone who is bothered enough by this that a name change would make them feel better, who hasn't just dropped this stuff completely, because the rationale I've heard from people who continue to play these games is that they said, if we drop these games, the people who are being abused at these workplaces are the first people who are going to be fired. We don't want Blizzard Activision to go under, or Activision Blizzard to go under. We want them to clean up their act. And we don't want the very people who were abused losing their jobs because of the actions of management. And I accept that. I think that's a very valid rationale to continue to play those games. I just can't with Blizzard properties because I had a shocking number. Every time I had a run-in with Blizzard Activision, it was crappy. And I can't overlook that, except for From Software games. But again, there's the exception that makes me sympathize with the people who are like, no, I still want to play Overwatch because, I want to support the rank and file employees. We all have our lines. And this is where I think the market will decide what Blizzard's fate is. And that's good, because then everybody can make their own individual decisions based on their own individual consciences. And that's it. It's one person, one purchase, period, end of story. There are plenty of other games out to play right now, forever. If they stop making games tomorrow, the back catalog for me would probably go on for 10 years. Not that I want them to stop making games tomorrow. I love video games. You guys know that. But this sort of, it's like 50% pandering, 50% complete fuck up. What are you doing? Just stop. Stop, take a breath, get some people in who know what the fuck they are doing. This is so bad. This is so bad that it's just reminding everybody that Blizzard Activision just still doesn't have their shit together. And it's too bad. I feel bad for the people that invested, time and money and emotional energy in these games. It sucks. So, interested in what you think. This is just me having a bit of a rant. Hopefully you found this entertaining. If you didn't, you probably stopped watching a long time ago. So help support this channel if you like my ranting. Become a monthly patron. Patreon.com/LeannaK. Boss Fight Song of Sparkle Muffin News coming this week. Thanks for watching.